It brought back memories of global adventures. It brought back the sense of smallness I felt while standing underneath the towering Parisian metal structure, an edifice that existed long before we did and would remain long after. Sure, we might settle down for a while, but we could at least remember the world's bigger picture, keeping our own day-to-day problems in perspective by comparison. Hanging the frame on our sparse, white walls, I exhaled. Much better. 17 years, 3 children, and several houses later, I still pass it daily. Of course, a lot has happened since then. Adding 3 children from 3 continents to our family in less than 3 years, for example, certainly brought me face to face with my own limitations as a mom, a wife, and a person. At one point, we had a 4, 3, and 2-year-old under our roof. Only dependence on God and grace for each imperfect moment allowed me to keep up with all that family life required of me. When the dust settled and as Jonathan, Elijah, and Trishna began to get older, questions started nagging me. How could I connect my family with this incredible world? How could I introduce my children to the countries that will be a part of our lives forever? How could I inspire them to learn, to care, and to eventually influence? I came to realize that bringing a global perspective into our homes doesn't have to be complicated or abstract. It can be downright practical. Simple ideas that make a big difference. This book's primary focus is on quality children's literature that introduces the globe and its people to your kids. As you read and discover new places together, you'll naturally want to learn more. That's where this chapter comes in. Using the ideas that follow, you can nurture a larger vision in your family, transforming it into a place where it's just as common for your kids to think of the world beyond your borders as it is for them to ask what's for dinner. And if you're like me, you get asked that a lot. Listen to this list and choose a couple of suggestions that resonate with you and make sense for this season of your life. Don't feel as if you have to try all of them at once. Starting simple and staying inspired beats burning out and giving up any day. After you integrate a few of these tips into your life, you may want to try others as well. They will broaden your global perspective and give your kids an even bigger curiosity about the world. A curiosity that will lead you back to the bookshelves again. Approach home decor with a global touch. Keep an eye out for worldwide inspirations as you decorate your home. One of the first purchases Steve and I made after we bought our first house was an antique map of the world. We paid to have it professionally matted and framed, and we hung it above our living room fireplace. Its front and center location helped to keep our focus on the global dreams we shared and the impact we hoped to one day have on the world. Place maps and globes in prominent places, areas where you and your children can easily access and consult them. You can find maps that fill an entire wall or are small enough to lie flat on the kitchen counter. Choose whatever appeals to you and works best in the space you have available. We have another world map hanging in our dining room, a third upstairs in the hallway, as well as a globe and a U.S. map downstairs at kid level. If you are a missionary or military family, or simply have moved now and then, consider displaying something from each place you've lived. Before we had children, Steve and I moved 6 times in 7 years of marriage. We bought a watercolor print of each place we had lived: England, Washington, D.C., North Carolina. We put them in inexpensive frames and placed them in the hallway. This is a great way to remember how far you've come as a family and the places you've loved along the way. You can do the same with spots where you've vacationed or even places that you'd love to go someday, creating a dream or prayer wall. Invite your kids to fall more deeply in love with the world by placing objects in your home that remind them of it each day.